back to Mindful Serenity Yoga, or Waking Up in a Busy World, whatever site you're tapping into. I'm going to continue answering questions. Now, I did this question just a minute ago, but decapitated my head, so I thought it would be best if I gave you a video with the person whose head was still attached to their shoulders. Might be less traumatic for you. So I'm going to answer the same question that I pulled from the jar, and I had a great chuckle when I read it. The question was, why do you always do that with your hands before and after you talk? Why do you always do that with your hands before and after you talk? I have already set the timer for 10 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the remaining time to answer that question, so I'm not... I'm kind of penalizing myself for cheating a little bit. So here we go. So why do you always do that with your hands before and after you talk? So take a breath. And I'm assuming what the individual means is this with what I do with my hands, the prayer gesture, or the Anjali mudra, as it's known in Sanskrit. And I do that for several reasons. The first reason is because it's become habitual for me as a yoga teacher. That's how I start each class and how I end each class. So anytime I'm talking or doing anything related to yoga, which would be maybe a search for the higher self, or trying to promote a higher sense of wellness or whatever, I have a tendency to do that when I greet people. So it is a greeting, and I am greeting you through habit in a habitual way when I do that. So that's probably the first reason why I use that mudra before and after I speak. The second reason I do that is because all mudras in yoga are said to connect our energy channels. So most are familiar with this yoga you do, this mudra you do when you're meditating. But this is another one that we tend to use, and it's called the prayer gesture, or like I said, the Anjali mudra. And it helps to connect energy channels, or what are known as nadis in yogic terms. So energy is said to flow through the body. Everything is energy. It comes into the body, it goes out of the body. The body is radiating with energy. And a lot of times it will escape through our fingertips or the tips of our toes. So we bring our hands together and we feel that energy. So if you were to rub your hands like this right now, really good, and then hold the hands apart, you will notice you'll feel a warmth, or almost like a pull, a magnetic pull from one palm to the other. And again, those are those nadis, or energy channels radiating through the body. And whether you believe in that or not, it's just what part of yoga, or a small portion of yoga, is about, is allowing these energy channels to flow freely. So I go like this to establish that energetic connection before I speak, because I want to be connected to what I have to say. I also do it because it is very, very grounding. You know, whenever you push your hands together, or your feet against the floor, or your wall against the back against the wall, or anything like that, we're feeling a grounding and connecting, and it helps to stabilize the body. So just try that yourself sometime when you're feeling really stressed. Either bring your two fingers like this together, or your palms together, or lean up against a wall, or press your feet. Be very aware of pressing your feet down into the earth. And you're going to feel grounded. So I want to feel grounded when I answer these questions. I want to be able to answer them from a place of grounding and stability and calmness, rather than just go off to ego mind. It'll take me everywhere. The other reason why I do this is because it is part of the Namaste greeting. And Namaste is a word that means the light within me sees and honors the light within you. So when I am greeting people with this, I am trying to express our connection, to say that I am pleased and honored to be connected to you at the higher level. Because in yoga, of course, we're talking about the oneness of all beings, right? So underneath these surface layers and these bodies and these minds is a connection that we may not be aware of using our five senses, but it's definitely there. So this is one way of telling you that I see the light in you, or I know the light of you is in there, and it's the light of me that sees it. If my conscious mind and my ego might not see beyond your body and your mind, this part of me within, the deeper self, sees and honors it. So it's a great way of connecting not only with the individual we're namasteing, which would be you, the audience, but also with our own sense of deeper self. So it's a great reminder that we're all connected, and that we're all connected to the deeper part of ourselves, whether we know it on the conscious level or not. So it's a lovely little way of reminding and connecting. That's why I do this. I do it because it's habitual. I do it because it helps me to energize. I do it because it keeps me grounded. And I do it to honor you from a deeper level, and to remind myself that there is a deeper level operating here and speaking. So before, in every video, anything related to the talks about the things that are really important in life, or any activity I may do related to that, like the yoga sessions I practice and teach, I do this before and after. So I'm going to do it now. Namaste.